Okay, well, welcome everybody. How are you? Just quick mic check, and I think we're good to go. Guys, welcome everybody to the trading room. My name is Saul. Glad to be with you. Before we get started, remember we're gonna be trading live market conditions. So anything I mentioned here is not meant to be a buy or sell signals. It's only the way I read the charts and analyze the markets, and I want to show you principles you can apply on your own situations. So just please be responsible and careful for your own trading. With that being said, let's jump to the trading platform. We've been following our my Freestyle account. And we were speaking last week about markets, reaching this area here. We were here last week, and expecting the market to have certain reaction to this area and to do something like this, and then either to retest the lows or to continue higher. Okay, so the continuation higher has been the path. The movement down was only 1 day of movement. Okay, so it wasn't as a pullback, but it happened in 1 day. The movement on a 4-hour chart is a bit clearer. Okay, the pullback and then the continuation higher. So it seems like there's a lot of momentum to the upside. The dollar starting to weaken a little bit. We have another area of interest up here. So my short-term bias is to the upside in the meantime. Okay, and in this area I will be expecting a reaction to the downside. Also, let me open here the pound dollar, the dailies. Okay, we identified together last week as well this supply on the hour list is very clear. Okay, you can see the supply right there. Okay, it's a nice raise base drop pattern. So we identified that today, or yesterday we tested that and we're reacting to that. So I'll be focusing on the Euro USD and Pound USD. Just let me open. I don't know if I'll be able to show you the dashboard and the progress of this account. Let me see if I can bring it, if I can pull it off. But I had, let me see. I am able. Yes, here it is. Okay, so this is the dashboard of my account. Okay, this is the account, my Freestyle account. I've had some activity from last week to this week. My performance factor has dropped a little bit from 5 point something, dropped a little bit. I had a little bit of drawdown, and I have been whipsaw a lot in the trying to do short-term trading in the Freestyle account. So this has dropped a little bit. It's still very high. I'm happy with it. This has gone up. I was at 14, now it's 18. I have 12 to go, and I have more than 30 trades still that I can play. So I'm confident. My performance factor is I don't see no reason why this would go down, and I just have to make 12 more trades, consistent trades, and that would be enough to pass the program. Other than that, let's go back to the trading chart and let's look for some trading opportunities. Now, as I've been very selective with my entries and with my trades on the Freestyle account, because I don't have a lot of trades left. So let's jump to another account. Okay, and this is this is an account we can trade also, short-term opportunities. It is a netting account, but we can trade with this. So let's see what's happening on the pound and let me do a little analysis here. Okay, because we are coming from a very strong movement up. Okay, we had this demand. Okay, we retested and we reached supply from that movement. But I'm not sure what there was news or something earlier, but this was a very strong reaction. So this is a new supply area. So kind of the bias is to the short momentum is to the downside. The short-term momentum to the downside. However, for some reason, okay, and I want to be mindful of that, we're not being able to break that area. Okay, let me tell you what I'll do. I'll be trading the short side of this market. Okay. The thing is, I can do some. Okay, let's do some order in my thoughts. Okay, this is my range. This is the range I'm looking at. Okay, this is where we're standing right now. So, as a general rule, when I see a range, I want to be buying the lows and selling the highs, because the Forex market is usually a very ranging market. So I prefer to approach ranges in the Forex market this way, okay, as an assumption that the range will hold and will continue. So right now it's not a great place to go no short and no long. If it goes down, that's an opportunity to go long, but we have a lot of selling pressure. Okay, we have the overall down, okay, all this momentum to the downside, and we're coming from this supply that we reacted, and we can see the reaction was quite high, okay, quite important. So third, okay, that was one, two, a third attempt to break to the downside might actually break it. Okay, so if it goes down, I will start building long positions, but I will, I will take the losses if I see a breakout, because a breakout is possible. So I need to wait for this to come a little bit lower and try to buy. If it goes higher, then I'll feel more comfortable actually selling these markets, since today's momentum has been to the downside. So if the market comes up, I'll start selling, and I'll be a seller all the way to that area. Okay, that's the plan. So let's just wait a little bit more. Let's see how that forms. In the meantime, let's see what's going on with the euro, because euro is a different story. We have been just pushing, to the upside. The short-term momentum has been to the upside. Again, we're kind of flagging. There's this channel, so even if I want to go short, I kind of need to wait. Let me see the distance between here and here. It's 48 pips. That's quite a lot. I mean, I can start building longs and then, adding to the longs on this support. But if that breaks, that'll open up the door for a larger movement. So I can start. Okay, let's start building. Okay, let's go one. Let's see how where this goes. This is not a setup. This is not a setup trade. Because I'm not in a great position. Okay, I really need to wait for this to come lower so I can start being a more important position. But grabbing a few pips here and then, that's just what I'm looking. If we continue flagging, if this is going to continue, forming this channel, that channel might continue all the way to this demand area before, gains momentum. But the overall trend or the overall or the momentum has been to the upside. So I'll maintain my bullish bias all up to that rectangle. So we should be testing that area. So we have some pips to take advantage of. And as we press to the upside, then I will start shorting the market. Around this area I want to add a little bit more. London session was so nice and so volatile, and now we're just seeing no movement at all. Come on, market, move a little bit. We can feel the indecision of the market if we analyze just the amount of tail activity, rejection of on both sides. We can see tails on the top, tails on the bottom. So kind of a market really trying to decide what direction is going to break afterwards. This is not of the most comfortable markets to trade because you see your position going against you in your favor, against you in your favor. Yeah, John, you're right. the market saw me entering a trade, so it's just not moving anywhere. Okay, what I'm trying to do is trying to improve my entry price. Okay, my entry. So as long as this up and down movement continues, then I'll try to just trade inside that range. I know it's very, very tight, but it's what the market's giving me. There's no point on expecting suddenly a break. To either way, actually. We can see same power to both sides, both the long and the short. Yeah, Jesus, that's a great question. So on my Freestyle account, I'm doing more swing trades, and I've been showing mostly all the progress of the accounts. I'm waiting for more long-term opportunities, and then I use other accounts to do scalping like this. Okay, we just tested this little area there. Let's see if we can have some movement to the upside. Okay, it's funny because we have patterns within patterns. Okay, we have consolidation. We have within a pattern we have different patterns, which recognizing those is a good thing to learn to do. But you can see we're forming both lower highs and higher lows, so we're kind of pressing. Okay, you can see these lower highs and you can see the higher lows. So this is just building momentum, and at some point it's going to break out to either direction. So I wonder, this is one of the first decision: do I want to be in that breakout? If I want to be in that stage where this just breaks either to the upside or to the downside. If yes, you want to make sure you have a good risk reward, which in this case I don't have it, because my exit should be, I guess I could place my stop loss there, and then really wait for the breakout. Let's see, how's that? That's 15 and 15. So that's a 1-to-1. Okay, I'm in the middle of this range, the worst entry place ever. Okay, you have a bad risk reward when you do that. So that's why you want to try to enter at the bottom, and then you have a very tight stop but a very nice profit potential, okay, or reward potential. Okay, we'll hold that. We'll see if that breaks to the upside, has the opportunity to really shut up, break and go all the way to the next supply area, which is up there. And if it goes to the downside, there's a lot of possible buying areas. So I might take the loss on that one there, but I'll keep my bullish bias. So I'll look for new entry opportunities here at this demand area, for example, or at the bottom here. Okay, this area, this one, okay, it's already tested, so I don't want to be building more. Okay, based on that one, I'll wait for the price to come closer to the, somewhere there, and that could be another good entry point, and exiting everything there, because if it breaks that line, will most probably go to the low. So I don't want to be holding my drawdown that or all that distance, and so I'll close, and then I will reopen here at the bottoms. Yeah, bullish. That's a good bullish world effects. That's a good question, because this is not a good setup. This is not a trade I like. This is not a pattern I want to commit a lot of risk. Okay, so other occasions you've seen me taking trades I feel more comfortable with, then I'll go much larger. And also when I'm scalping, I use scaling technique. So I start very, very small, and then I start building up the account, okay, or the lot size I take. So if I take on this account a setup on the dailies or the hourlies, then I'll go with more risk, with a 1% risk or 2% risk of the account. But right now, trading off the 1 minute chart, I want to start really, really small, and then I'll start building, okay, the position. Tomorrow there's interest rates on New Zealand, so expected to raise to 2%. So that might be the reason why some of the reasons why the Kiwi has been strengthening. Here, however, still on the dailies a little bit starts to be overextended. So I would expect a little bit of movement down before it continues higher. Let's see if we can refine the supply area here. Okay, so we're already reacting to that mid-range supply, and then we have all the rest up there. Okay, so I guess we're going to continue all the way there, and at that supply we might react to the downside and then to continue higher. That would be a good pattern. Okay, we'll keep an eye open. Diamond, yeah, there's news at 2:30. You might be right. So we'll give it we'll give it some more minutes. We'll see if we can squeeze a little bit. Something to keep in mind always is when you're trading off the 1 minute chart, for example, as we're doing here. So from point to point, okay, the whole range moves. In this case, 13, 6. This was a nice one. Okay, large one, 26. 11 pips. So around 10 pips. Okay, we saw 10, 11, 6. This was a very large one, 20. But around 10 pips. So if I have gotten my entry price here, okay, at the very bottom of this range, my expected target needs to be around 10 pips. Okay, so gaining consistently, 4 or 5 pips, but consistently, that's also a good thing to aim for. Instead of holding this for a very long time, waiting for a breakout of that triangle, of that wedge, instead of doing that, just entering the market and exiting the market, entering, exiting, till you get so you get more pips. I feel there's going to be a movement to the downside. Okay, we will react to this area, and we have consumed demand here, so a little movement to the downside wouldn't surprise me. However, I'll try to catch the next leg higher. Okay, that will be what I'll try to do. Okay, let's see if there's some buyers there. See if there's some buyers left here. And for this setup, okay, up until here I will commit one lot. So at this area, bottom area, I'll add around another half lot, or maybe one extra lot. But then I'll need to take the losses at the bottom part. Okay. Okay, there was the rejection. Okay, at the last seconds. Let's see if there's a little bit of follow through. A good turning point should bring the market, should bring the prices here. Let's see if there's some buyers. Okay, testing the turning point. Okay, that's the turning point. That would be an apex candle. Let's see if there's some follow through. Okay, follow through. Right. Okay, till then. That's a good scalp target. Okay, I peeled out one. That's another target area right there. Okay, before it turns around one more time. Okay, I like the fact we're testing that resistance area and buyers are holding. So we have now the opportunity to break to the upside. Let's see if that happens. We're at resistance right there. We should break that, and we should test these highs if we break this area. Okay, this has become a new area of interest, so we might expect a test of that and then continuation higher. If that fails, I might scale out a little bit in the loss. Okay, I don't like the fact that we retraced but we didn't continue higher. Okay, this is a nice V shape, but then what I like to see is a retracement and continuation. Okay, not this kind of closing. So if I don't see buyers getting active around that area, I'll peel out a little bit more, okay, just to reduce exposure. And when I feel comfortable adding those that money again, I'll buy again. Okay, this is gaining momentum. That's gaining momentum to the downside. So let's be patient with that. Okay, that's the test. Okay. Okay, now this area has been tested. Okay, not relevant anymore. Now we need to see follow through. Is that the news maybe, guys? Let me check. No, so no news now. So it's just volatility in the market. Okay. Okay, that's the pattern. Now, 1, 2, fourth test of the resistance. Okay, now here comes the break. I expect a stopping point there. Let's see if we can break that. No. Okay, I really want to be. I want to see a solid break of this area. And then on the retest, okay, I want to see a solid break. And then on the retest of that breaking area, that's another opportunity to add, okay, to add into my position. Okay, the money I scale out, I will be ready to allocate it again. Okay, now that rejection will bring the highest the price lower again. Okay, so that's another good area for taking profit. Okay, because now the next movement on a false breakout is to the downside. Okay, so instead of holding all these for long periods of time, I will bank profit and I'll look for opportunities on a new setup. After the rejection, I expect a movement down. Okay, I need to be aware of that. If we manage to break that, that'll be perfect, because then I have confirmation that the bulls are in control of the short-term momentum, and I'll feel comfortable adding into my position. Okay, I expect resistance there. Okay, you see the reaction. Okay, let's see if the bulls take over. Okay, but even on the tick chart, you can see the same patterns will look on the charts. Okay, we have the uptrend, the pullback, continuation higher. Okay, we're forming higher highs here on the tick chart, which is great. That's what I wanna see here. Let's see if we can get some follow through. Okay, now being 10 pips, we talk about this is the full range. Okay, that's the whole impulse on a 1 minute chart. So expecting more than that, it's just being greedy. Okay, it's sometimes better to take the profits and reallocate. Okay, we broke that low on the tick chart. Okay, you saw how this tick tested, okay, the breaking area. That's a swap area on the tick chart. We can expect now continuation lower. Let's see. Okay, that's the continuation, but we're getting into an area. I don't know if we have enough to see here. Let me see. Whoop. Hey, C. Garcia, glad to see you. What about pound New Zealand? We'll have a look just in a second. we're still in that range. Okay, let's see if the buyers come again. Okay, I guess, you know, from the session, I think we need to adapt our expectations. Okay, trying to swing this trade, given the context of the market, is not the best thing to do right now. I mean, we're going to the trade. The first one, I'm not sure it was back here or back here, but we're holding this trade for a long period of time in order just to be break even, or to, you know, to expecting a pattern looks like it's not realistic to happen right now. So I might consider just, you know, taking profits and rebuilding. Okay, taking profits and reallocating those profits instead of waiting for this, you know, to break to either direction, because it's just not happening right now. Okay. I guess adapting our trading style to the market context, or market to the character of the market in that moment. There's a term called time cycles, okay, and the risk of time, where we're always very, very aware of where should we get in and where should we get out, and our risk or our price risk, but we never take into account our time risk, or our risk in terms of time. So the longer I stay in a trade, I should not be in there already. The larger the possibility of something happening and taking that trade into turning that trade into a losing trade, or of course a winning trade. But for a one-to-one, you know, risk-reward ratio, it just doesn't make sense holding that trade for that long. And we're just stuck in here in this range. Holding swing trades for swing days, and scalping for ranging days. Now, what's our request here? Pound New Zealand. Let's look at that quickly. So Pound New Zealand is a very tricky pair. Okay, it's a pair I find it's very, very choppy, and most of the times it's doing this or doing this than doing this or this. Okay, so of course there's some fundamentals on the or when there's a fundamental on the pound or the New Zealand, we might see a movement like that or like that. But most of the time, I expect to just be chopping from point to point. So right now we are approaching in a channel. Okay, you can see the channel here. And in terms of supply and demand, channels consume both supply, both demand. So if this at some point reacts to supply, okay, let's say that's a supply, there's no demand down here to stop it for a strong movement to the downside. Okay, so I don't see that's a strong enough supply, because otherwise we would have seen already the movement to the downside. So I expect this to continue in that character. Okay, so there might be some demand there, so I expect this to continue lower to react to demand, okay, and continue higher, and we will see just a continuation of this, okay, of a channel. But it's just because markets, reacting to supply and demand. So back here, let me clean this. So we had this demand area, okay, this one right here. We tested it, okay, and reacted, okay, and every time we have demand, we react and consume the demand, and I expect that to continue because it's a very balanced pair, unless something, tomorrow unexpected with the interest rates in New Zealand changes something, but I just expect that to continue. And then these channels, when they meet strong supply or strong demand, they tend to break hardly to the opposite side. So this being an ascending channel, those tend to break to the downside strongly, okay? But I don't see any supply here to cause that breakout, okay, all the way to the tops, okay, to there. So it's hard for me to tell you if we are, I don't know, if go long, go short. I would wait. I would wait for market to come a bit lower, and then I'll try to build long position in expectation of that channel to continue. And since we're not coming from any very strong supply, but it's just mid-range demand supply. So my expectation is for this pattern to continue. That would be my reading. Now, right now, if we want to do something, so you need to short, okay, because we're trying to go and reach the demand area, which is all the way down here. So I don't know. We can do analysis on all time frames, but the most important thing is just to know what you're looking for, and to follow your strategies and your and the signals it provides to you. Okay, we finally got the break to the upside. Okay, so we have, okay, we broke that one, we're breaking all this area there, and now we're meeting resistance there. But now we can feel there's some momentum to the upside. So I don't expect a break of that, not just now, but we can see this has come as a point of interest or a demand. Okay, so now we have this demand there, and we have this support area. Okay, so now a pullback to that area, those are good. Okay, that one and that one are good buying opportunities. Okay, I don't expect this without any retracement to go and blow that resistance. Okay, so I expect a pullback, a little pullback, and then gain force in order to break that high there. Okay, that would be my approach right now. We could even go short for a really tiny scalp. Short the resistance, just tiny pips, and then to go long. Okay, to try to break the highs there. Okay, guys, I think we'll wrap up here. That was a nice. It was quite slow. Okay, we were stuck here at this range, waiting for that to happen. Okay, but it was just taking just too long. I held one or two just to the take profit, but most of it I just scalp it. And we're seeing now how momentum changes, okay, or the character of the market is changing just now in front of us. So from a ranging market, it's trying to turn into a running market. So my play would be now wait for a pullback and try to catch a potential move higher in case it breaks the highs, because if it breaks, it has some room to run all the way to the next supply available, which is up there. Okay, that would be the play. All right, guys, I'll let you go. Thanks for staying. Hope you got something from this session. Okay, we did fine. It was a bit slow, but it was okay, a profitable position. Until next time, guys. See you.